So we know that the One Piece anime isn't as popular as the manga. We know that the manga recently surpassed Batman in total, copies in circulation. It's hit 100 volumes recently, and I believe that every volume in One Piece, it might be excluding 100 since that just released. I don't know about that, but it has reached 1 million copies sold of each volume, which is pretty impressive. But the anime, it's not horrible. I enjoy it. I think when I first started watching and getting into One Piece, that was the first thing I did. I was an anime only until it went on hiatus. I believe I started watching One Piece in 2013. I dropped it. Then I picked it back up in either 2017 or 2018. And then I would just go and watch it weekly. But I want to talk about something because of the recent episodes in One Piece. Specifically, the one where Luffy and OT had the headbutt. I believe that was 990 or 990 or 989. And then the one, I believe the one that came out a few days ago. Today's the 15th. So the one that came out on Sunday. I want to talk about that because I've been seeing a lot of people have negative things to say where I don't necessarily have a problem with them, what they're saying. I just think that people are more nitpicking more than criticizing, if you will. So I want to talk about that. But if you guys enjoy regular anime content, then make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. But with that out of the way, my name is Potential Unleashed, and I want to talk about the issues with the One Piece anime. The biggest issues with One Piece's anime are two things. One, the pacing, and two, the animation. Because realistically, if One Piece was a seasonal anime, it probably would be considered the best anime of all time because the animation would be consistent and the pacing would not be horrible. And the pacing is not bad all the time. It's only specific arcs. I think Dressrosa was pretty bad. And its lobby was okay. And I also think Marineford was a little bit iffy. But when you look at seasonal anime, basically that means, the 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall. That animes come out once a year in a specific season. There's specific seasons in anime where they're not necessarily the same as the regular seasons. Like, I know that winter season doesn't start till later than the actual winter season is, if that makes sense. And so seasonal anime, they usually tend to have like a good anime. I know Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, and Demon Slayer, they had around 24-25 episodes. I think Attack on Titan, it had 16 for season 4. However, we are splitting it into 2 parts, so it is not uncommon for animes to split episodes in 2 parts. But One Piece, because it's so long, they have to do it 1 episode a week. Because I did the quick maths. If you did, since One Piece, the anime has been out since 1999, that is 22 years from now. Since then. If you do the math, the anime, if they did seasonal, where are roughly about 25 episodes, and we're going to say 900 because we would eliminate the filler. One Piece, it would take 36 years for them to adapt 900 episodes, where if you did it with the 22 years that the anime has been out, it would have only adapted about 550 episodes. So I believe that's roughly either Fishman Island or Punk Hazard. So we wouldn't be at Dressrosa, Whole Cake Island, Zao, Wano. We'd still be all the way just getting out the time skip. And I feel like the One Piece animation doesn't get the credit it deserves. It's a little bit wonky, a little bit funny, but that's the way Oda wanted it because he wanted to be different from other animes. But I don't see a problem with it. I know that specifically with Enies Lobby Water 7, I thought the animation was good. I think that there are specific parts where the animation is good. There's some parts that is inconsistent, but I think that people are more nitpicking than not. Wano's animation is beautiful. Like I said, probably Enies Lobby, when they switched to the HD, the full screen, instead of having the little black bars on the side, I think the animation was really good. And I just think that people expect One Piece, which is older, to have god tier or great animation, which isn't the case. And I want to specifically talk about the pacing of 2 arcs, Dressrosa and Wano, because that is what we currently are in. When you look at Dressrosa, the reason why there was such a big issue is a couple of things. One, they would show the Rebecca, Kyros, and Scarlet flashback a decent amount. They would also extend fights here and there, like drag them out a little bit, and then there would be recap that would take so long, like we wouldn't really get into the episode until we're about 5 or 6 minutes in. And then in Wano, I feel like Wano's pacing has been pretty solid so far, except for the recent episodes. Once we got out of the Odin flashback, when we had the scene of them getting to Onigashima, there was a couple of scenes that were stretched out a little bit, and now that we're at Onigashima, there's a few scenes that are stretched out here and there. But the biggest issue I'm seeing people have is that One Piece's anime, when it gets to 1,000 episodes, it'll only adapt up to chapter 989, which is where the Straw Hats, they finally assemble, and we get that beautiful panel of all the Straw Hats with Jinbei, Frankie, Nami, Robin, all of them. They're when it says, hey, the Straw Hat crew is here, or they're the main people in the fight. And then chapter 1000 is Luffy getting to the rooftop. We see the supernovas talking about Odin saying, hey, in 20 years people will fight to take down Kaido. And then we get the Red Rock. So that's why people are complaining, because we're not going to be at chapter 1000. And I have to say, I think that it's better that we're going to be at episode 989, because even though chapter 1000 was good, I remember the hype that everybody had when we were reading the manga, that we were like, we cannot wait for 1000, and we were hyped. But episode 989, or chapter 989 is a better representation chapter, or episode 1000, because it has all the Straw Hat crew in there. Like I said, chapter 1000 was more Luffy oriented, and chapter 989 includes all the Straw Hats, which is what One Piece is about. Like I said, we love Luffy, but One Piece is about the crew, their journey, their goals, and them, and showing how much they've grown. So seeing all the Straw Hats on screen, since I think, Fisherman Island, we haven't gotten a panel like that in almost 10 years. So that being episode 1000, to me, makes more sense than it being chapter 1000. And I want people to realize the anime is an adaptation of the manga. There are some times that the anime goes more in depth than what the manga does, because there are times that we were confused, or we had a misconception of who was saying what, or who was a figure that was in this scene, or what was the person doing in this scene. So the anime does expand upon the manga and gives us more clarification. There are also anime filler scenes in the manga source material. For example, I believe Sanji versus X Drake, that wasn't in the manga, but it was a cool scene and really beautifully done. And I know another example is on Whole Cake Island. I believe Brook never fought Oven in the manga, but I think that was a dope scene, and it was something that we needed. Like the recent episode of One Piece, there was the chapter, I believe it was 983, where Zoro was going against the Gifters, and they were talking about, hey, how we wanted to be king of the pirates. And in the manga, they didn't expand where Zoro said he didn't want to be king, that Luffy would be king, and that he fought the fodder. And I think that was a great scene that was introduced and added, where some people are disagreeing that they said it's not wanted, where I really think that people are more being a little bit impatient because they know all the scenes that happen in the manga. Roof Piece, Yamato defeating the Tobi Roppo, Onigashima flying moment of ski. Like the manga right now, after I'd say about 997, don't get me wrong, all of Wano has been great, but like specifically 997 to like 1010, then it fell off a little. Well, it didn't fall off, it got a little bit slower, and then picked back up around chapter 1017, and where we're at now, which is as this video recording, it is chapter 1025. So I think people are being a little bit even more critical because they want to hurry up and get to where we're at in the manga. But yeah, I think there are certain scenes that the anime, when they do anime only filler, that is good. I know when we first got out of the Odin flashback, there was that scene where the Straw Hats were around a campfire and we saw the ship get blown up. I think that was great, and that it was it needed to be included, that we got to see their perspective. We all know the two greatest, or the best episodes of Wano, at least directing wise. I believe it's 957 and 982. They were directed by Megumi Ishitani, where they only adapted 10 11 chapters of the manga, so they weren't really paced well, but because it was beautifully animated. And I just want to say, Wano's animation has been consistently beautiful, but because it's been beautifully animated, the great color schemes, and how impactful it was, nobody complained about the pacing because they thoroughly enjoyed the episode because she did a great job directing. So what I want to say is, just because they're adapting 10 to 11 episodes or 10 to 11 chapters per episode, if it's directed well, then the pacing shouldn't be an issue. And so this is how I do my rewatches of One Piece. Because when I was first introduced, I watched the anime version, and then when it went anime only because of COVID, I switched to the manga. But I have read the entire manga. This is what I do. I watch the anime, but whenever there's slow moments, so like backstories specifically, and they're long, like Odin, Law, and the Nolan backstory, and there's a few others, I tend to go to the manga to read it, and then I go back to the anime version. And then whenever there's stuff that's poorly paced or that it's just slow moments, I end up reading it in the manga. But then whenever it's fight scenes, hype moments, and just a normal good paced episode of One Piece, I usually watch the anime. So I'd say I 70% with the anime first, and then like 30% I read the manga. But to conclude, I don't think the One Piece's anime is bad or is as bad as people make it out to be. Like I said, it is paced not the best. I do think the manga is better, but at the same time, I do think people are just nitpicking and they're being overly critical just because they want to hurry up and get to the hype moments that happen on the rooftop. But let me know your guys' thoughts about One Piece's anime. Like I said, it's very popular. Every time I see it on Crunchyroll, it's always on the popular page, or is always one of the first few there. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video from me. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat is on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.